Welcome to Impact OC, the only program showcasing the people and organizations shaping Orange County. With your host, Don Camber.
Hello, live from the OC Talk Radio studios at UCI's Beal Applied Innovation Center. I'm OC Talk Radio Public Affairs Director Don Camber with another great guest impacting our community in a positive way. Today, I welcome Laguna Art Museum Executive Director Julie Perley-Lee. She joined the museum in May. She was previously the Executive Director of the Catalina Island Museum and Vice President of the Collections and Exhibition Development at the Bowers Museum. Thank you, Julie, for being on Impact OC.
Oh, thanks so much, Dawn. Pleasure to be here.
Julie, the Laguna Art Museum collects, cares for, and exhibits works of art that were created by California artists or represent the life and history of the state. Please share with us some of the art that are on display and where they come from.
Oh, thank you so much for the opportunity. Well, we are so fortunate to be one of the oldest museums in California at over 100 years old now, and certainly the oldest in our Southern California region that collects California art. Few museums in our state are remarkably focused just on the story of our state. And so we build exhibitions out of our permanent collections. We have over 5,000 pieces of permanent in our permanent art collection, and we build exhibitions around them. And we borrow exhibitions from other museums, as well as tell the story of California through living artists today. So I'm really grateful to be here at this moment in time because we're on the precipice of opening a whole new series of exhibitions, all related around the theme of art and nature. And art and nature, this is the 9th year in a row the museum has focused on this theme. So forthcoming to the museum on November 4th, we're opening 3 new exhibitions on this theme. The first, our commission artist, Rebecca Mendez. She is the chair of UCLA's Design and Media Department at UCLA, has created a monumental video installation in our largest gallery. So if you can imagine a video screen 40 feet long and 18, 19 feet tall, and so a massive, massive presentation showing a day in the life of Los Angeles by looking at the sky. This is a time piece, a meditative piece of a video that moves from dawn to dusk with this beautiful music created by a composer from Los Angeles also, using crystal bowls to create the music. So it's an overwhelming visual and auditory experience that we cannot wait to have our visitors come in and enjoy. It's overwhelming. It makes you think about yourself inside. It makes you think about the world outside. And Rebecca's project is really about thinking about how the forces of nature and how we respond to the forces of nature that are happening to us all the time, how they bind us together, and how important the environment is to us. So it's a very important piece of work that we're about to show. In addition to that, we are pulled out pieces from our permanent collection. And our permanent collection has works going back to the 1880s, some of the earliest images of California, all the way up to the contemporary time. So we pulled pieces out of our permanent collection to talk with Rebecca's piece. So pieces that have to do with time, sky, pollution, the air we breathe, big vistas, and beautiful California skies that we all know and love so well. And so that's bringing together over 25 different artists that will be throughout our permanent galleries. And then finally, there's a lot going on at the museum. And then finally, we are bringing together a collection of artworks from different collectors throughout the Southern California area. Our largest lender to this exhibition is UCI, and so we're very grateful for our partnership with UCI's art collection. The artist is Jessie Arms Botke. She was a painter who hit her heyday in the 1930s. She painted exotic birds and flora, beautiful, beautiful images with gold and silver leaf, and she was one of the most important decorative artists of her time. She was married to a fellow artist, her husband, and she's always been exhibited alongside him. This is one of the first time and only times that Jessie Arms Botke gets her own exhibition focused just on her work and her contribution to the arts. So all of these exhibitions coming on November 4th tie into the theme of art and nature. So,
and different kinds of art mediums. We're not just talking paintbrush and paint. You're talking multimedia.
We have a little bit of everything, which, of course, is wonderful. It tells the California story. We are a state that has a variety of people, artists. We're responding to our time now, and all artists have been responding to our time. And so that's really the thorough-through when you're able to look at artwork. Artists who settled or founded Laguna Art Museum back in 1918, they were responding to the beauty of Laguna Beach. And today, the museum is still working with artists who are responding to our particular moment. You know, we all just experienced the oil spill and our beaches were closed. And you better believe that our Laguna Beach artists were out there photographing, filming, painting, and also documenting this moment. So art is eternal. It's important for us to look at it through a lens. And it's important for us to remember that an artist has a particular story to tell us, right, if we are patient enough to take a look at it and listen. We can just look at it and like it, or we can just look at it and hate it. It doesn't matter. You know, it's something that I really want to make sure everyone knows, that the museum is excited to have folks inside. We want to welcome people inside. I have this little dream. I don't know if you know this, but the museum is right next to a restaurant called Las Brisas. And everybody knows where Las Brisas is because you can get chips and salsa and look at the sunset. But right on the corner is Laguna Art Museum. And this is just kind of fun, tongue-in-cheek, is to make sure everyone knows when someone says, where is the museum? Someone says, oh, it's next to Las Brisas, and not the other way around. So
describe the size of the museum.
It's a 19,000 square foot building. It sits right on the corner of Pacific Coast Highway, right on the cliffs above the ocean. It's a 3-story building, but you can't tell that from the street. So it's 3 levels of galleries. In addition to the exhibitions I mentioned, we also have 2 photography shows on our very top mezzanine level and also on our lower level. One is from a local photographer, Jacques Garnier. So we are very careful. We want to make sure that we honor our local artistic heritage as well and artists. And on our lower level, Matthew Ralston is an artist who's had a long career in the commercial arts, photographing everyone from Madonna, Cyndi Lauper, Michael Jackson, every person you can, celebrity you can think of. But he's turned his life towards art making, and so his photographs of artists from the Pageant of the Masters, if you're familiar with the Pageant of the Masters. So we have a whole series of his work that documents Pageant of the Masters as well. So anyway, lots going on in the museum.
And it sounds like some of the works would be in line with some of the curriculum in California history. A lot of teachers could bring their students there.
Very much so. And we also get out into the schools ourselves. So we're very proud of the work we do with Laguna Beach Unified School District. We are the art making class for our students in our city, which we're very grateful for that partnership. And we also partner with the Boys and Girls Club in Laguna Beach, the Santa Ana area, and we're expanding even farther into other Boys and Girls Clubs so that we can bring art education to young folks everywhere.
What did you do during COVID?
During COVID, I worked tirelessly to make sure that the museum, and this was at the Catalina Museum, that I worked tirelessly to make sure that our staff could remain employed, that we continued to reach people. People really needed the arts at that time, and it was, we were all feeling nervous and uncertain, but to be able to connect and bring art and history and a shared experience into people's lives was incredibly rewarding.
I understand the Laguna Art Museum has virtual tours.
We do have virtual tours. We just hired a new deputy director, Victoria Gerard. She was formerly at the Bowers Museum. Also, her specialty in the last year and a half was really bringing the virtual programs up significantly. So with her help and the help of an amazing staff, really, I have to say, we are putting a lot of energy into reaching people, more programming in the building, more programming in the virtual world, more programming with kids wherever we can find them. And our goal is to really double the amount of people we reach annually. So our goal is to reach at least 100,000 people in the next year and a half to come.
And that would be helped with a virtual tour, I would imagine.
It would. The virtual world is not going away, and it shouldn't, because, I'm sure you've heard the story too. We have a worldwide audience that way, not just Laguna Beach, not Orange County, not even Southern California. And that's important. We want to be able to share the story, our California story, with the world.
So how do you do that? How do you do virtual?
We do it in different ways, through partnering with individuals, with curators, with artists, collectors, other museums, anyone who has a tie to someone in our collection or one of the exhibitions that we're having.
Is it that they could just click in and then they could just see what's going on in the museum? Or is it assigned time?
There are assigned times, and that way we can plan for and promote and make sure that there's enough energy and synergy around for the person who's presenting, or wherever we're going virtually in the world.
What about public programs?
Public programs are the same. So we have been doubling, maybe tripling the amount of public programs that have existed in the last couple of years. And there are a wide variety of public programs. We have a group called Laguna Beach Live come in and bring music into the museum once a month. We have a program for children in our LAM Lab, so that's an all ages creativity area. We are bringing in lecturers like Jean Stern, who's coming soon to talk about our Jesse Armsbaki exhibition. And then, of course, we have all these ties to the amazing artists we're working with, so they're coming as well. So our visitors get to learn directly from them.
How do you select who gets to show their stuff in your art, in your museum?
So it's not an easy process, right, because there's so much happening in California, and that's one thing that's really wonderful. And I have to say, from a daughter of Orange County, I grew up here, knowing or being told that the Orange County was, never going to flourish the way we would like it to be, that you would study here if you could, but you just know you're going to have to spend your career elsewhere. That's just not the case. So I'm so proud to be part of a museum in Orange County, working and telling the California story. We look for artists, or either living or from our past, that have a compelling story to tell. When we're looking to the past, we're looking for folks who have not had their proper attention due to them, perhaps, or not been written about. We want to make sure that we're adding those stories to the huge archive of California artist stories. And when we're working with contemporary artists, we're looking for artists who are responding to the moment in some particular way, or perhaps something in terms of Matthew Ralston's exhibition, something that is very close to home. For instance, his work on the Pageant of the Masters. We could not have that exhibition at Laguna Art Museum.
Explain how people can appreciate art, view art, so that they don't just look at it and quickly move away.
This is a constant challenge in our world, and especially I am a mom, so I'm around young people all the time, and we are becoming more and more used to looking at images quickly, and I'm just as guilty as anybody in terms of flipping through my news feed or my emails or what have you. But not every piece of artwork is the right match for a viewer, right? And so I think I just want to make sure people don't get too caught up in thinking they need to know or understand or try to or feel alienated by a work of art. Trust your gut. If it's something that intrigues you, just take a minute and stop and challenge yourself to look at the artwork and not the label before moving on. I would encourage people to ask, what's the intention? Why would somebody make this? Why do I not like it? Or what is it that I really like? It can be as simple as just the color scheme or whatever's pictured and cited. I think we get too caught up on this idea that we have to look at something and really know what it means. And so that's what I encourage folks to do. There's so much out there, and there's too much out there, right? So there is something that I feel confident with the new slate of exhibitions at Laguna Art Museum. There's something everyone will find that they will enjoy.
What kinds of mediums are represented?
Well, video, sculpture, painting, photography, mixed media, and we don't have any now, but even in our permanent collection, we do have installation art that we're thinking about in the future, perhaps reinstalling in the galleries as well.
And there's an opportunity to have a membership to the museum so that people can go on a regular basis.
Yeah, thanks. We are member and supported through private donation. So membership and donations are a key part of keeping the museum vibrant and energetic and open. And so when we have regular members openings and opportunities, we take trips with our members to go visit art studios and other museums elsewhere, travel trips. Those are a lot of fun. And I wanted to mention, just because we're so close to campus here at UCI, that we have a nice relationship with UCI. All of our interns come from UCI, so UCI is helping to bring our collections alive every day.
So how can people become a member?
Yeah, you can talk to one of our friendly attendants at the desk when you walk into the museum, or just go online and click How Do I Become a Member. We have a lovely, lovely colleague, Madeline Roth-Schofield, and she is there at the museum all the time, happy to help anyone interested.
And you have the California Cool Art Auction.
Yes, so I can't believe that, but in February will be the 40th year in a row that the California Cool Art Auction comes into play for the museum. So that's 40 years of relationships with artists, mostly artists, but galleries and collectors who donate works of art to support the museum. And it is a large fundraiser for the museum, and it is a lot of fun. There's a live art auction for some really wonderful high-end pieces for those who are able to purchase on that level, but more than anything, it's a time for the community to get together and to enjoy the arts.
Thank you, Laguna Art Museum Executive Director Julie Perlin Lee, for being on Impact OC, and I thank everyone for tuning in. I'm OC Talk Radio Public Affairs Director Dawn Camber. Have an impactful day.
You've been listening to Impact OC, the only program showcasing the people and organizations shaping our community. Right here on Orange County's only community radio station, OC Talk Radio.